Now, South Sudan brought home bodies of the 4 Kenyan aid workers who were killed in South Sudan. The bodies will be arriving at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport today. The 4 were among 6 aid workers who were waylaid as they were traveling from Juba to Pibor, a town in the eastern part of South Sudan. They were working for Grassroots Empowerment and Development Organization, a non-governmental organization funded by UNICEF. Let's now link up with Timothy Otieno, who has been at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Team, what's the latest from there?
Well, so far, Michelle, the families of the 4 slain individuals are here at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport at the cargo bay waiting for the arrival of their loved ones. They have been informed that the flight from Juba has already taken off, and the flight is expected to arrive here at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in the next maybe 30 minutes or so. But of course, as you can imagine, it's the family members gathered here, of course, are very saddened by the developments that took place a week ago that saw 6 individuals killed, 4 among them Kenyans. So I'll just walk towards this side where a sizable crowd has since gathered to await the bodies of their kin. Two family members of the slain individuals we can confirm have already arrived here. So we'll see if we can talk to one of them. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to KTN News. Maybe you could begin by telling us your name and who among your family members passed away in South Sudan.
My name is Mbugwa Chege, and the deceased is my son, Samson Chege Mbugwa.
Okay, maybe first of all, how did you find out about the passing of your son?
I was called by an anonymous caller, somebody I don't know. He informed me that my son had met his death in Juba on his way to a place called Pibor, where he was going to take a job as an English trainer. Yes.
Okay, for how long had he been in South Sudan, and what was he doing with the grade of the organization?
Well, he traveled to the Sudan to southern Sudan in 2012, April 2012. He went to Juba, and he was there for 5 years. He came back in December to say Jambo and stay with the family. And he stayed from December to last March. He left here on the 17th of March, Friday morning, and traveling back to Juba, where he said he was going to take this new job, and we bid him farewell. Later on, to just learn that he had met this terrible death in the Sudan. Yes.
So 17th of March was the last time you spoke to him or any members of your family?
The last time I saw him, but he called me when he was on the border between Sudan and Uganda. He told me that they had got stuck there. A bus had broken down, but after the repairs, on Sunday evening, he called me and told me that they had arrived safely in Juba, and he would be getting in touch. He called me again on Tuesday and introduced his new employer, Mr. Mbugwa, who works with the Gredo company, which is contracted to set these youth centers in the Sudan. And then he called me on Wednesday evening and introduced somebody. He was together, a lady, but before I took the phone, it cut, disconnected, and they didn't call me back, and that's the last time I heard from him. Yes.
As we can only imagine, it's really a sad and traumatizing moment for you as a family. Have you gotten any form of information or communication from either the Kenyan government or the South Sudanese government in regards to investigations ongoing towards the killings or on issues of preparations for the burial on either side, either the embassy here in Kenya or in South Sudan? Any communication?
I'll tell you, apart from this, Mr. Mbugwa, who is the employer, I haven't heard from anybody else, either our government or the government in Sudan or UN or UN, because I understand that UNICEF had contracted this Gredo. So I expected to hear from either body, you know, Kenya government, Sudanese government, or UNICEF, but I haven't heard from anybody. Yeah, we've been in dark all this time.
Thank you so much, sir, for speaking, of course, to KTN News. We do empathize with the situation, but of course there are other families that have also been represented here and are waiting for their kin to arrive. We are made to understand that Samuel, whose father we've just spoken to, was beginning a new job as a teacher and was heading towards that particular area as a volunteer teacher working under that organization. But of course, I'm joined by one more family who are here, of course, awaiting the body of their kin. Perhaps if I could speak to you, Madam. Thank you so much for speaking to KTN News. Begin by telling us your name and the name of your kin.
Okay, I am Mrs. Jane Wanjiro Karanja. I hail from Roiro. One of these boys is my nephew. He calls me auntie. He went to Sudan 9 years ago. He has been coming back, and this time he came back in December. We were together until February when he decided to go back. He has been working with the road constructions until he got his new job with the Credo, and he was to be a coordinator or somebody. He called us on Saturday, that fateful day. At around 10, he called his brother and he told him, I have gotten a new job and we are taking a flight and we are going by air. Only to be surprised that they went on the road. Later on Sunday, we were called by somebody from Sudan. We don't know who it was. And they told us David is normal. They were shot on their way. And it was really bad for us. It was really bad for us. And then from there, we haven't heard much apart from this Bogwa. And then we heard from a lady from the Kenyan embassy there. And she told us the bodies are being taken by UN to a container because the bodies had been lying just on the floor. And then they told us just a day to today that they will make sure that they are bringing the bodies home. We have been struggling to know how to bring these bodies home, and we are wondering how the Sudanese government can kill our boys, and they are working for them. We have so many Sudanese in Roiro. They are living in peace. Their children are in our schools, and they are not being killed by anybody. So we wonder why they have no respect for souls. We have buried so many Kenyans from Sudan. So we are asking Salva Kiir to take care. He should know that Kenyans are humans and they should be respected by all means. They should not tell us marshal or kill because their people are here. They are alive and they go home alive. But our people are coming dead.
Thank you so much for speaking to us here at KTN News. Of course, it is being said that this latest attack has been termed as the deadliest attack on a humanitarian convoy since the civil war restarted back in December 2013. Of course, just last month, within the same country, two separate incidences of humanitarian convoys being attacked. One took place on March the 10th. Where in an area known as Yiroi, if I haven't gotten it wrong, and one health worker and one patient was killed at that time. And another one took place on the 14th of March that same year, this year actually, where about 4 locals working in a South Sudanese NGO were held captive by some of the rebel forces. So it's a crisis that has many people very concerned and very worried, considering right now humanitarian organizations are being attacked. As we do know, South Sudan within itself is facing a famine situation affecting about 2.5 million people. So some of these people who travel within that country head there for humanitarian assistance in some of the remotest places in that country, albeit the very high, very shaky security situation. So as is, we are going to be waiting here at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport for the bodies to arrive at that particular area where, of course, the bodies will be arriving as the cargo plane, but as is, the families have already gathered here. But what we are getting on this end, Michelle, is that the Foreign Affairs Ministry has not communicated to some of the families since that attack took place 1 week ago. And of course, disheartening to them, even as they wait to lay their loved ones to rest, and perhaps investigations into what took place last Saturday, Michelle.
Very disheartening situation there. Timothy Otieno live for us from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, where the bodies of 4 Kenyan aid workers who were waylaid in South Sudan a week ago are set to be flown back home. Aid workers working with a humanitarian organization that was trying to deliver aid to the most remote parts of South Sudan in the wake of the famine, as Timothy Otieno there just reported. Now,